Right then, guys. I say welcome to Fofee morning. I hope you're all good. Just have a general sort of question answer. I'll run through a few things on my zone. I've actually got mine set up to share in a moment, so we can go through that. But I've just written down a few sort of general issues that a lot of people are having, and that sort of thing. Same with you, Rosie, at the minute. Things like just intermittent connections and things like that. I think there are still a couple of bugs in the whole MyZone system, and they hold their hands up to that. I was on a sort of meeting with them, a Zoom meeting with them the other day for about 2 hours as a worldwide thing, and that was all quite interesting because they're now trying to integrate MyZone with Zoom. And what you can do is, instead of seeing everybody else that's on the screen, is just see everybody's heart rate zones and the coach. And I've asked a couple of people's opinions, and actually at the moment, until they advance it a little bit more, people are actually enjoying the coaching via Zoom and being able to see everyone to keep that sort of community feel. So that's going to be a sort of work in progress, I should think, with that one. But literally, I mean, starting off just with basic connections and phone settings, really. So obviously, we've all got different phones. Most of the problems do seem to come with Apple and iPhones. And it's just because you need to just faff with the settings a little bit more than on an Android phone. But you need, certainly with Apple, you need 4 things to be in place for it to connect and for it to be working really, really well. Bluetooth's obviously the main one, because that's the main connection through it. But you also need to have an internet connection via your phone, certainly if you're downloading the information. So if you do have dodgy Wi-Fi or 4G's not so good when you're trying to download all the information that you've done on a session, you're obviously bound to have slight issues on it. Location settings need to be on high accuracy as well. So if you go into your settings and look at location, that needs to be on high. The only thing, sorry?
I said, aha. I think it's some of my problems in one.
Yeah. Could do. Permissions is another one. That seems to be only with Apple as well. You need to go into your settings, look for permissions, and give it actual permission to connect to Bluetooth and swap the information from MyZone onto your Apple phone. So that's always a biggie, because a lot of people don't realize they need to do that. And sometimes with iPhones, you know, they're sort of always updating quite regular. That actually might switch off as a security procedure, so you might need to go back in and reset that every now and again. So it's worth keeping an eye on. Basic connection issues, other than that, is usually belt tightness, making sure that it's snug. It shouldn't be sort of moving up and down at all. But obviously you don't want it to be restricting your breathing, so you don't want it too tight either. Make sure it's wet. I've looked at some comments, and some people actually soak the belt in water before they put it on. So it's not just a case of, you know, getting a little bit of water on the back of it. Sometimes they actually soak it into water, depending on how cold it is, how dry you are, because it needs that sort of moisture to connect, because it picks up the electrical signals from the heart. Check the charge. So when you go on, I'm going to share my screen for this one. Here. When you, oh, I've been kicked out, hang on. Right, there we go. Can everyone see that okay?
Yep. Yeah.
So when you click on workout, so you'll know it's going to connect, even if it's not reading your heart rate at the moment, down here, it should show what the last charge was on your battery, even if it's not connected. So when it was connected before, it'll still show the percentage of what battery's left. It doesn't need charging unless it's below 20%. It does more damage to the units if you charge them more often.
Ah.
So if you're constantly charging it, you're probably ruining it.
Right.
The other thing to mention with charging is only use a PC or a laptop to do it. A lot of these phone chargers now are fast chargers. And again, what they'll do is ruin the unit or ruin the circuitry within the unit, because it just can't handle it. Okay.
I thought that was my heart rate, that middle one.
The middle one is, yeah. If you look just below it.
Yeah, no, I still thought that was my heart rate.
So I'll give you a quick run through the basics on this. Obviously, who you are at the top.
Yeah.
Calories burnt, again, take them with a pinch of salt because they're a guesstimation and not factual. They'll be relative for each workout. So if you've done 116 calories one workout and then 500 the next, obviously you've worked a damn sight harder. That's your bottom left is your live heart rate. Bottom right.
Oh, mine's naught.
Yours is naught. We better call someone out for you, Penny.
So I'm not connected to it.
Down the bottom right there is actually the MEPs you've sort of obtained for that particular session. And obviously down the very bottom here, you can see your timeline of what zones you've been in. I've been obviously very, very active this morning. Some of the little bits on here that you may not have come across before is you've got a stopwatch. So if we click on that, you've got clock, just normal clock, stopwatch if you want it. You've got a countdown, you can set intervals. So if you want to do your own little workouts, you don't need to have another watch, or you can just use that and set that as you like. So if I wanted intervals, hopefully that works.
Can you tell me the percentage that you need to go into blue? What do the colours mean? So if you get into a certain percentage.
Okay, so red's 90% and above, between 90 and 100. Yellow is 80% to 90, or to 89 if you want to be picky. Then obviously it goes into the blue, which is your 70 to 80, and then so on and so forth.
Is it green? I think green is 70 to 80, mate, isn't it?
Sorry, yeah, green then blue. But if you use this as well, don't just rely on this, because obviously this can spike. It's happened to a few people. It's put their maximum heart rate up. So what that's done, then it's not reading accurately. So where's mine saying 50% now? So if I'm working really, really hard, and that's only saying sort of 50, 60% of my maximum heart rate, there's an issue. The same factor that if it's like 90% in red, and you actually only feel like you're working at 50% of your maximum effort, again, there's an issue. So you need to give us a shout and we can adjust that manually. All right.
So you've got a central point for everyone, have you?
Yeah, I've got a page that I can go to and look at everybody. There's only a certain amount of information on there. I can only actually see everybody's last workout, not all of them. I don't have any power over the MEP, so if you miss a workout or it doesn't pick up, I can't add points on for you.
No.
And I can't change certain personal information. That's down to you.
If my percentage doesn't work and I don't see, for instance, the 48%, and I see searching for your belt, has that recorded it or not?
Probably not. If the unit itself has beeped once when you put it on,
yeah,
it will be remembering everything that happens until you then turn it off.
Okay.
So when you do have a good connection, it should, when you reconnect it, download. If it doesn't, what you've got here, see that little cloud at the top right? That actually, you can physically press that and it should download all the information.
Yeah, that's what I do, but it didn't. So,
no? So it's possible that the belt, excuse me, didn't actually turn on.
I'll say while you're talking about that, Rich, just because it's a problem I had when me and Dan did a charity, hit session.
Yeah.
I had that happen to me, whereas when you clicked on the little cloud you just clicked on, the workout had actually downloaded to that, but it hadn't actually gone into the home screen and given me the points for it.
Yeah.
I think on the app there is also like a troubleshooter where you can click and it kind of puts you through and you speak on it my phone. So I think that was one thing that I didn't realise that it could do until I was faffing around with it. And in the end, they managed to actually get it added on for me. So it's just if you're ever in that situation, like I think you were just saying, Rosie, where it's downloaded to there but still hasn't worked, there's like a click to speak to someone option in the app somewhere, and they can sort that as well.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Craig.
Yeah. So yeah, if you did want to set these intervals and things, you obviously click on intervals, then you press edit and you can change this. So if you wanted to do 1 minute on with, 30 seconds rest, you obviously just scroll it down. Come on, this week. This is easier on the app because you do it with finger, not an icon.
Right.
So next, and then you can set how many you want to do. Oh, that's rest. Oh, I've just messed that up. Hang on, let's go back. Sorry. So intervals, edit. So that's your, active duration. So if you want to do a minute, then we go next. Then you select the rest duration. So I won't do it, but we'll go 30 seconds. Say.
Right.
Next, number of rounds you want to do. Okay, and then when you're ready, you press start, off you go. Easy.
So how does that tell you? How does that kind of speak to you and tell you that that's what you've done a minute and a half?
So it'll beep and let you know, just like a normal interval trainer will just beep at you and you'll know when to rest, or you keep an eye, you keep it connected and you sort of watch the clock out the corner of your eye.
Oh, okay, righty.
All right.
So I meant actually on a run. If you went on a run, obviously you can't look at your screen all the time. So it beeps.
I mean, yeah, it'll beep. So if you've got your headphones in and say it's in a little pocket, then you can do it like that.
All right, cool. All right.
And it should be able to play your music at the same time as well.
Cool.
And it'll dip the tone down, it'll dip the music down a little bit so you can hear the beat.
Ah, okay.
All right. So, right, so that's that. Where are we? So also with the workouts, that was my next bit. So you click on the workouts and obviously there you go, you've got your heart rate monitor on. Why won't it bring that up there? I want it to bring up the, to get out of that now. Let's just go to clock. Ah, that's right. So so there you go. If you're stuck there, so if you put intervals on, go back to clock, and that's the sort of normal page. But ZM here is zone match. This is a good one to do if you've got like a static bike, a rower or something like that at home. Good to do a fitness test on, because this will go to your body metrics as well. It'll automatically upload. So this is how it will work out things like your basal metabolic rate and stuff like that. You just click load and off it runs. And all you've got to try and do is, as this timer goes by, so press start. Oh, I think it's wanting to update now. So it should start. And what you've got to do is match these zones. So the quicker you get out of grey and into the blue at that right point, the closer the match is going to be. And it just ramps up and it just tests your fitness. It's a really good little thing to have for your body metrics, which I'll run through in a minute. That. Right, so going back into zone match, again, if you've got a bike or something like that, these are like little pre-done workouts. And they're great fun, and they fly by in an instant. So down the bottom here, you can actually set how long you want to work out for. So here, let's select 45 minutes, get rid of the 30, and say you want a nice steady sort of up and down recovery interval session. So all we do is press play. You can see here it's 45 minutes long. For this, you should earn, as long as you keep to the zones, you should earn 158 MEPs over the 45 minutes. So press play on that. And again, it's the same sort of thing, that you match your heart rate. So that's started now. It's counting down. So it's got 30 seconds in the grey, then it's going to nip up to the blue. And you can see here, these are the different colours you've got to try and match. And it'll give you a percentage of how well you've done. So that obviously, you know, the quicker you get out of grey and into the blue, the higher that zone match percentage is going to be. Oh, there you go, it's beeping at you. So that's what you'll hear in your ears if you're wearing this out on a run or something.
Oh, okay, righty.
But if you're going to wear this on a run,
yeah,
it's going to be, you're really going to have to try and keep an eye on your zones, because then you adjust your pace and your effort based on that.
Oh, sorry, I missed that. You kind of, can you just repeat that? What you just said, it went a bit funny.
So the higher, which bit? Sorry, Rosie. The closer you are at hitting those colour, the higher that percentage is going to be.
Right.
And it will remember what you did last time. So if you come and do the same one again, you can look at trying to beat your percentage zone match next time. So you can try and improve, and you actually manage to get the gist of how your heart reacts to your effort zones or effort levels.
Right.
So it's great fun. Like I say, it absolutely flies by when you're doing them. They're great.
Yeah, I believe you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to go and let somebody in the gate at the back.
Oh, that's right. No worries.
Rosie, I think what you might have missed was Rich saying that if you're doing zone match, you're probably better being able to see the screen so you can
Oh,
then
right.
to what's coming up. That was it.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have to obviously adjust your effort level to what's coming up.
Yeah.
So with the, let's come out of there. So with having done things like the fitness test, and if you put your weight in, things like that, you get this one on the body metric side of things. So I have to skip across here and I can edit what my current value is in weight. Target in weight, we all know weight's a bit iffy in terms of muscle mass and body fat percentage, so that I probably wouldn't use that personally. But to put your weight in, and when you first register on this, you have to put your height, etc. And obviously that doesn't change, but this is why that's editable and that the other bit's not. Let's go back. So body metrics. So this will give you, once you've done your MyZone fitness test, and mine's 44. So again, you can do these quite often and try and improve your fitness test results.
Is 44 good, Richard?
It's excellent, Penny.
Oh, great.
Is that out of 45, Rich?
But this is where you can see your maximum heart rate, resting heart rate. Again, don't forget, this will only record while you're working out. So actually your resting heart rate might be slightly different because obviously you're going to spend more time in a higher zone over that period. It does work it out over time.
Seriously though, what does 44 mean for a MyZone fitness test?
It's the score they give you.
Yeah, estimated fitness age, isn't it?
Pardon?
Estimated fitness age, isn't it?
Oh, steady on it, boy. Not quite.
I'm going to aim for 55 later.
Yeah. But if you have the MyZone scales, you can actually connect to those. I mean, this is if you've got loads of money to throw around. But again, accuracy on these these ones are not as good as our in-body. But they'll give you an idea of body fat percentage if that's something you wanted to do.
Rich, I've not had any good feedback on those scales actually. I think
No.
Steve Yetman had a set and he said they're awful.
Yeah. Again, with MyZone, it's not what they concentrate on. They concentrate on the software side of things. So it's just something else they want to sort of push out there, but without much, I think, much thought behind those bits and bobs. You don't need to worry about this membership card thing. You may not even have it on there. But if you're quite chatty and you want to connect with other people on MyZone, this will only connect with people that are from the studio. So if we press connections, and if you're looking for somebody that's in the studio that you've got on well with, or you've linked up with Zoom and you've been chatting, so you can actually connect through here. So I can connect to Christy. So it will say pending. She'll have to accept. And then once you've done that and you are friends, then in MyZone chat, you can connect to any one of these people. So I had Greg messaging me yesterday because I congratulated him on hitting his next level, which I think was gold status. Yeah. And he just says, thanks, mate. So it's nice if you do want to connect to these guys and just give them a thumbs up. And once you're friends as well, what it'll do, it'll appear obviously on your news, on your feed. So if I go home, so everyone I'm friends with will show me their last workout and how well they've done. So you can be a bit competitive, or we can just watch each other and cheer each other on. So that's that. Thanks, Craig. Thanks for the message. So Craig's just messaged me. Hi, Rich. Just come up on my phone. It buzzed. There you go. Little wave.
All right.
Send him a little smiley face back. So you can actually have your own little sort of social media sort of edge to it if you want to connect with, and you don't have to connect with anybody. It's just one of those things that there's a chance there. I was going to go over challenges, but MyZone seemed to be having an issue. When I connected on it, all the challenges that are running at the moment, I've got absolutely zip up there.
I was Interesting, actually, because that was going to be my question, because all I had was a little big circly thing, but I've now actually got the Warrior Challenge.
Have you?
Yeah, says I'm fourth.
Ah, great stuff. Oh, that's good, because I'm getting absolutely nothing. And actually, I did message them.
Yeah, previously I was getting, this month I was getting nothing up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was, yeah, I've had nothing, and I've spoke to them, and they're very slow to come back, and I don't think there's many people in the offices.
I've got a whole stack of challenges on mine, weekly targets,
Yeah.
Warrior, and not that
Yeah, there should be 4 weekly target ones. There was the race to 2,000.
Yeah,
and
that's
then there was
right.
the Warrior Challenge, which is 5,000.
Yeah, mine took a little while to load up, but they are all showing now.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's just not.
Oh, actually, I've just clicked on. Yeah, if you click on the clock thing on the top left-hand side, that lists them out. But I think are those, yeah.
That goes back to.
Oh.
But then when I go back, just this first screen, it just says Warrior Challenge.
Yeah, see,
Then the other one does list the race to 2,000 weekly target for da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, I've got history on that, not. But no, they are aware that there's a problem with the challenge side of things. I think they ran a worldwide MEP challenge in April, I think it was. And there's lots of complaints because they haven't actually mentioned a winner. So obviously, if they're trying to run another one in June, people aren't going to jump on because they're just not giving any feedback. So it's
It was actually me if you missed that, mate. Sorry, I don't want to make a big deal out of it. But
say again, Craig. Sorry.
I said it was actually me that won it. If you missed that,
I think it was like $10,000 or something like that they were putting out there as a prize.
I've spent it now.
So what else we got? If I go home. So obviously it gives you your MEPs at the top there, your status level, etc., on there. But the one thing be careful of when you're using your phone is that once your workout on your little unit or your Pebble only stops when it turns off. So when you disconnect it and it beeps that 3 times, that's when that workout officially finishes. So what it won't do is download that information because it only knows it stopped the workout when you disconnected it. So when you reconnect, then it will download the last workout. It's either that you turn it off, put it back on again after it's turned off, and then you can download. Does that make sense?
No, but mine downloads automatically most of the time.
Does it? Yeah, I was going to say, not all the time.
Most of the time. Sometimes it doesn't. In fact, I can go 2 or 3 days sometimes and it won't download, and then it will eventually.
Any question?
Mine is still saying no and searching for your belt, and I've got my belt on. It's just really annoying. And it goes into 70% and then it goes off and just keeps saying searching for my belt. But I will go back into location and do all those other things that you said.
Yeah, do those. Try those troubleshooting things. Rosie, if you have a problem with it later on, just give me a call.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
But yeah,
sound like Bluetooth, Rosie.
I was going to say, how old's your phone, Rosie? Because I had a similar thing with my last phone before I changed, where I kind of thought loads of things I owned were broken, but it turned out the Bluetooth on my phone was literally operating at hardly any range.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Have you got any like Bluetooth speakers or anything that you could kind of test and see how far you could walk away from or anything like that?
All right, no, I think that might be it though. That might be it. But it's funny that it started happening.
What it also could be is if you wash your belt quite regularly, the red one, it just may be that it's worn. That can always be an issue as well. So I think you can order a new belt online for like 10 quid.
Rosie, I think I've got my belt in my bag. What I can do is maybe drop mine off. You can try it on mine and see if it's actually the red belt.
Oh, thank you.
That way you can, if you need a new one, you know that it's like $9.99 for a new belt and you're flying.
Yeah. Would you drop it off, Dan?
Yeah.
I've got Judy for Judith. Sorry, guys. I've got Judy for Judith. The film Judy. So I'll leave that out at the same time if you're going to see Judith.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, everybody.
All right.
Private conversation.
Is there any questions on that, guys? Or any bits that you think I've not covered that you're a bit concerned about? I know, Penny, you said you were going to ask about the challenges, but I think I've covered that for now.
So
Hopefully.
it seems to be working now. So
Oh, good. Perfect. Everyone all right?
Perfect. Thanks,
I was
Richard.
just
I'm
gonna
going to go and do all my settings and do all that because it might well be that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Could
Thank
be.
you very much indeed.
Pleasure, guys. Pleasure. Well done.
Well done, Rich. That was great.
Thanks for coming.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, then, guys.
Yes.
See you soon.
See you
Thanks,
soon.
Well done, mate. Cheers.
Rich,
Bye.
Bye.
Rich, when you've got the download of the recording, you just want to bang that straight into the private members group.
Yeah, will do. I had a problem doing the last one for some reason, but it was just too big, I think. I don't know. But I'll give it another go with this one.
30 minutes. And hopefully that's not such a big file then.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, look, that's going to be useful for everyone, that one.